as Jason Dickinson said, no moral victories, but at the same time, much better, especially given who you were playing too.
Yeah, I think if we, even with the second, I think if we repeat that performance, we're going to win lots of games. Like, the other team is going to push back. That's just the reality of life. But, if you look at kind of where we were to start the game, I thought we did an excellent job of, in our structure, excellent job of some of the things we talked about this morning that we didn't do kind of in Buffalo. We had real chances in the first. I think the better of the chances in the comparisons between the two periods, and didn't score. And but we stayed with it. You give up one late. Came on the third, played pretty good. Obviously, again, they're a really good team. It's not, this stuff doesn't, you can't repeat that first over and over again. It's not going to happen very often. But I thought from a number of standpoints, we made progress. We just got to stay with it. Wednesday we're going to play a similar game, but play a little better in the second. And if you do that, I think you're putting yourself in position to win games.
What do you think of that first period from that?
Really good, everything but finish. We had great chances, and again, the goalie made some good saves. Like I thought, he did the right things. It just didn't quite go in. It was kind of the story of the whole first for us. But I thought he played really good. I thought the line was really good.
How do you think they matched up? It looked like they were spending most of their time against McKinnon's line.
Yeah, I think good. McKinnon's line's a great line, one of the best lines in the league, and especially with Nate just being out there, and a lot of times when he's out there, McCarr's out there, like they play together. I don't want to say exclusively, but a lot. And so there's a kind of a double-edged sword there, and I thought they did a good job. I thought it was a good. There was times where I put Dickie out there against them, but I didn't want to, give Dickinson a full night of it, just coming back from injury, and I wanted us, Connor to check him and be able to check for his offense, and I thought that line did a good job.
How did you think Dickinson did though?
Good, yeah, good. It's good to have him back. He's just a calming presence, I think, on the bench. He's a calming presence on the ice. I think overall, I thought he did a really good job.
Artie seems to be getting more predictable, but tonight was maybe a little less predictable. How would you assess his play?
Artie's doing a lot of good things. It's just the balance of those good things versus those moments of too much risk, I guess would be the best way. He does an unreal job in the third, skating the puck out, and he's got ice to his left, and he tries to go one-on-one. Like, that's just the growth process of understanding how to attack the game without biting, taking off more than you can chew. So that's just a process with him that we're going to have to, as part of what we're doing this year, is allowing these guys to grow. And with growth, there's going to be some mistakes, but I think overall, he's headed upward, and he's headed in the right direction.
Have you ever seen a penalty rescinded before?
I have, and I actually think refs are doing a really good job of that now. Like, more in the more recent future, and I can't particularly say, but I've definitely seen them get together, talk about whether the infraction was actually an infraction. It was clear, that was not an infraction, and so good for them at a critical moment of the game to kind of swallow it. And I think, at the end of the day, everybody can live with the right call, like that. Even them, I think it's an easier explanation to them than it is to us, in terms of, obviously it wasn't the right call.
Kyle Davidson talked from the second he took over as the GM about building a faster team, a faster organization, and this is really the first year that you're seeing a lot of the guys that he's drafted coming up. How did you feel? And Colorado specifically has been one of the models that he's referenced with his drafted players in Colorado tonight. How did you feel the speed he played?
Well, I thought we're a fast team, and certainly, if they're a measuring stick, I think we're right up there. And I think part of being fast is not bogging yourself down. So I thought in the first we were really fast because we were able to go tape to tape. When you do those things, you can play way faster. In the second, we bogged ourselves down a little bit. We just weren't as poised with the puck. We weren't as, when there's plays we made, we didn't quite make them. But just from a pure speed aspect, we've got a lot of speed on our team, and it's something I think we can use as a valuable asset.
It's the first time you guys have lost 3 games in a row in regulation. Is there anything you need to protect with a young team that it doesn't stumble in anything?
Going into Friday's game, we were one of only 4 teams that hadn't lost 2 games in a row in regulation. It was pretty impressive actually for a young group. You look around the league and teams seem to be going on runs both ways. We want to avoid obviously those negative runs. So I think coming and having great urgency. We're going to get a couple days of practice here. Coming in having great urgency Wednesday is going to be critical, and again, building off of a lot of things we did positive and just having a better second.
Like Jason was just saying, there are no moral victories, but do you take the positives of what you were able to do against the best team in the league right now?
Yeah, I would say it's a process, right? So you're trying to take away kind of the things you can grow from and learn, so you can look at the positive and say, okay, we're doing this well, and now what else can we improve on?
How do you feel the speed of your team matched up with what Colorado had on the ice tonight?
Yeah, I think we were right there with speed. I mean, first period, you see the transition game, like we're turning pucks over in neutral zone, we're flying. Like guys are turning it up and we're attacking quick. And I think that's one of our strengths is our speed. Neutral zone, attack off the rush, we can kind of get back, reload. So yeah, it was good.
What do you feel like you got back to after the Buffalo game?
Yeah, it's just kind of an anomaly a little bit where it's maybe just one of those nights where things just really weren't going right, and so you just come in and kind of get back to work, like confident in our game. We know we can be a good team, so we should go out there and just start playing again.
What's happening in the second period? I mean, you expect to push back from them. That's part of it. Was that all of it? Or?
Yeah, I think maybe just missing a few of those clean plays. Like, I mean, they came like they're pushing through the neutral zone with a lot of speed, kind of coming on that forecheck, and sometimes the game tilts in different directions. So just I think that's also kind of maturing our game and part of the process of learning to handle that. Like, okay, it's tilting their way. Like, okay, let's handle it. Let's play smart, and then we'll slowly tilt it back in our direction and get that momentum back. So.
How do you feel out there tonight?
I felt better for sure. My legs took a little while to get back to where they should be, but reads were feeling pretty good. A couple misses that I'd like back, but that's to be expected.
Guys, especially first, third period, had some great chances. Is this just one night where you're pretty happy with things, and it just better goalie on the other end? I don't know.
Yeah, we can be both happy with the process, but not satisfied with the results. Right? Would love for us to get the win, even scrape out a point. Divisional matchup like that, everything matters. So it sucks, but for the most part, that's a lot of good clips that we can go back and watch and be proud of what we did, because it didn't feel like we gave up a whole lot, especially in the first and third.
What happened with the second period where things kind of shifted to their side?
Yeah, hard to say off the top of my head. They're a good team. They're going to push, so maybe a bit of credit to them to say they might have found some holes in our coverage and they started pushing and they found what worked. We can address that in video and go over what needs to be fixed, but it's not a perfect game ever, and that's a good team that's going to have their chances.
They're obviously sort of the bar right now. I obviously think it sucks and you guys lost by goal, but do you like where this team's at, and just when you've been facing some adversity in the last game and coming back and playing?
I think I prefer that part of it. The adversity from last game and a response. There's no easy teams in the league. Like you said, Colorado's, I guess, the bar right now. The way they're playing, they definitely deserve to be talked about in that light. But there's no moral victories in the NHL as much as we're a growing team that maybe you can look at these that way, but personally I think we're just trying to find our way and measuring ourselves against teams. Although it's a good thing to do to see where we're at, it's not something that carries a lot of weight because every game is so different. There's circumstances every which way that you can look at it and break it down. Okay, Colorado is on a back-to-back. People are going to find ways to kind of minimize what happens. So every game it matters. It doesn't matter who it is on a given night. If it's 2 days of rest and then into a game, it all matters. So I think it's just being able to do it on a everyday basis. And like you said, responding after a tough one, that's what matters to me.
The second periods have been kind of an Achilles heel for this team this year. Do you think it's an energy thing, or is there even a way to figure out what's going on with the team's second periods?
That's a good question. It's hard to pinpoint what exactly it is. I don't think that there's some magic answer that's like, oh, our second periods, we just decide to not try. It's not that simple. Is it as simple as teams see what we do in the first period and they make adjustments and we are now trying to adjust to their adjustments? Maybe. It's really hard to say. So it sucks that our second periods are letting us down, but it's all part of the process and learning and trying to figure things out as we go here.